The gym parking lot is quiet as a light-colored Toyota Prius slowly rolls through. Inside the vehicle, two men are actively hunting a 41-year-old father of two. They track him from his morning workout, trailing his car through the streets of Tallahassee. He has no idea this routine will be his last. A wealthy grandmother has already paid to have him killed. Daniel Markel was an internationally recognized family law expert. The 41-year-old professor graduated with high honors from Harvard. His intellect made him immune to standard courtroom bullying. He lived a quiet academic life in Tallahassee, Florida, married to 35-year-old Wendi Adelson, raising their two young sons. That stability ended when Wendi abandoned the marriage. While Dan was out of town attending a conference, Wendi systematically emptied their shared home, took the children, and left divorce paperwork on their bed. A geographic battle began immediately. Wendi wanted to relocate the boys to Miami to live under the daily influence of her parents, including her 64-year-old mother, Donna Adelson. Dan used his expertise to secure a court order blocking the move. That ruling prompted a financial escalation. Realizing Dan could not be outmaneuvered in court, the family attempted to bypass the law using extreme wealth. Donna formulated a plan to offer Dan a $1 million bribe to surrender his custody rights. Donna also instructed Wendi to apply extreme emotional pressure. She told Wendi to threaten to enroll the children in a Catholic school to deeply distress Dan's Orthodox Jewish roots. The threat demanded a formal response. Dan struck back legally. He drafted the Grandma Motion, petitioning the court to severely limit Donna's unsupervised visits. He filed this after discovering she was telling his preschool-age sons that their father was stupid and that she hated him. Dan prepared to defend his role as a father in family court. He was entirely unaware his former in-laws had already abandoned the legal system. They were quietly finalizing his murder. On the morning of July 18, 2014, the legal maneuvering ended. Two hired men had already arrived in Tallahassee. Sitting inside a rented Toyota Prius, they tracked Dan's every move as he finished his morning workout. Shortly before 11:02 a.m., when the first 911 call was placed, the men executed a drive-by assault. They shot Dan twice in the head inside his own garage. The bullets caused catastrophic brain trauma, leaving him completely unresponsive. First responders swarmed the property to secure the scene, but he succumbed to his injuries around 14 hours later. Early in the investigation, Wendi suggested the murder might have been a random robbery. The medical evidence indicated otherwise. The precision of the point-blank shots proved it was a highly targeted assassination, pointing straight back to the custody dispute. That massive police response in the neighborhood soon tested Wendi's story. Just hours after the gunfire, an active police barricade blocked off Trescott Drive. Officer Bill Brannon watched Wendi's minivan approach the massive crime scene filled with flashing lights and marked vans. Instead of stopping to ask what happened, Wendi abruptly made a K-turn and drove away. She never made a single call to verify her children's safety at their nearby daycare. Wendi claimed she simply thought a fallen tree was blocking the road. Officer Brannon's testimony contradicted this excuse. He noted the roadblock offered an unobstructed, highly visible view of the police vehicles and emergency activity. With her initial explanation questioned, she presented a new narrative. Wendi later established her alibi by claiming she was at home waiting for a Geek Squad technician to fix a broken television. She told the repairman that her 37-year-old brother, Charlie Adelson, bought her the TV as a divorce present. Wendi claimed Charlie joked that a new television was cheaper than hiring a hitman. In the days following the crime, Wendi legally changed her children's last names to Adelson and relocated to Miami. Behind the scenes, investigators were tracking the getaway car. Using toll booth records and cell phone data, they traced the rented Prius directly back to two men in Miami, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. This digital trail led police straight to the cash. Charlie Adelson paid off the middleman Catherine Magbanua. Magbanua was the vital link. She directly recruited her ex-boyfriend Garcia to pull the trigger. Faced with this overwhelming evidence, Rivera accepted a cooperation agreement and pleaded guilty to a reduced charge. In exchange, he testified that Charlie financed the hit. Rivera also testified about the physical condition of the payment. The bills were severely degraded, wet, and smelled heavily of mold. The Adelsons were highly educated medical professionals. However, according to co-conspirator testimony, Donna washed the cash in her sink. She attempted to scrub the bills of fingerprints before handing them over to the hitmen. Tracking the hitmen and securing Rivera's confession took investigators 2 full years, but proving the Adelson family ordered the murder would take nearly a decade. During that time, rather than cutting ties, Donna Adelson kept their connection alive on paper. She placed their go-between, Catherine Magbanua, on the official payroll of the family dental practice, the Adelson Institute. For years, Donna personally signed dozens of consecutive checks to Magbanua. Detectives investigating the financial chain discovered a flawless paper trail. The family wasn't just handing over the initial wet cash. They were paying ongoing hush money, disguised as a highly documented business expense.
Myself and Special Agent Sanford from the FBI went to the office and served a subpoena seeking records for the employment of Catherine Magbanua, and we received nothing at the initial time. Later on, the best I could get from, I believe it was an attorney that represented that dental office, just a list of checks that were paid from the Adelson Institute to Catherine Magbanua, but nothing that showed what she actually did as being employed at that institute.
According to those checks, during what period of time was Catherine Magbanua on the Adelson Institute payroll?
From September of 2014 all the way, this particular one shows March of 2016, but I believe it goes further than that into May 2016.
Right. So it starts shortly after the homicide, about 2 months?
The homicide happened July 18th, and the first check was dated September 18th.
To break the case wide open, the FBI designed an undercover sting aimed directly at Donna. In April 2016, an undercover agent approached Donna on the street. He handed her a printed article about Dan's murder and demanded $5,000 to help the hitman's family. Instead of calling the police, Donna immediately dialed her son, Charlie. She had no idea the FBI was already wiretapping their cell phones. On the recorded line, she used the word TV as a code to discuss the extortion. This exposed a secret, shared language, tying directly back to Wendi's alibi on the day of the murder. That panicked phone call forced Charlie into action.
So these calls go up and down the train cars, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Donna to Charlie to Katie to Garcia and back, over and over again. You might recall my powdered donuts example. We had direct evidence that it was the kid not covered in powdered donuts, but we agreed that being covered in the powdered donuts was pretty good evidence that that's the child that ate the donuts. This case is not entirely circumstantial. I mean, she's covered in powdered donuts, don't get me wrong. But there is direct evidence as well. Call C, Charlie calls back to say,
Don't talk about things in the apartment or anything.
don't talk about things in the apartment. Oh, obviously. Obviously, we can't talk about things in the apartment.
What did you tell you that when they asked you?
The first check is written to Catherine Magbanua, signed by this defendant. This is the murder money. even though Charlie has signing authority on this account, he could write these checks. He chooses to connect his elderly mother to a murder payment. If she wasn't involved, there is no reason in the world why she would write these checks.
Charlie and Magbanua met at a crowded restaurant called Dolce Vita. They chose the location specifically because the overlapping voices and kitchen clatter masked their conversation from FBI microphones. For years, the undercover audio was completely garbled, but as time passed, technology caught up. An audio expert used advanced software to strip away the background noise, isolating Charlie's exact words. The newly clear audio captured him openly discussing the extortion and the murder.
My point is, how do you get people to talk? You put a smoke grenade, and then you get all the cockroaches to run out. There's smoke in the house, smoke in the house. And everyone's running, and everyone's talking. You throw a smoke grenade, what do you think? Listen, if that's what it was, it's very smart, because you ask me, my mom had my dad. My dad should have looked out when he finds it. But my mom hasn't told my dad anyway. Things have changed a lot, though. You know what's changed a lot? Cameras everywhere. So cops now, they have a pension. When they retire, they're going to get a pension for the next 30 years. Medical, dental, and a salary every month. If they think that you would think, my mom's walking this way, your mom goes to the right, he was like this, staying firm. The mom's like, oh, sorry, sir. Get this. And then he goes, I was like, sorry. And he's like, you stay. He said, yes. I need to talk with you. Okay, so my mom thought it was like process over. It's like in my days, it makes me think would make me think they don't, these people only know part of the story, or they think they know part of the story. The problem is, you give it to, like, if my mom meets something, like, oh, okay, I'll meet you tomorrow in part of the building, and he just drives up and she gets the 5G, what the f*** is going to happen next month? It's going to be, oh, you need your help again. You know, I mean, and the thing is, if my parents really were guilty, they may think they have a big fish on the line, and love this. All I have to do is scare this little old lady and push her in a noodle. The cops, she's guilty as hell. You have to let them know that these people are not afraid of going to the cops. They got nothing to hide. Okay?
Because it took years to decipher those tapes, Charlie wasn't arrested until April 2022. When police finally put him in handcuffs, the rest of the Adelson family realized the net was closing. Donna lived freely for over 9 years after the murder, but the clock finally ran out when a jury convicted Charlie of first-degree murder on November 6, 2023. The very next day, 73-year-old Donna began searching the web for countries without U.S. extradition treaties. She and her husband, Harvey, purchased tickets to Vietnam with a layover in Dubai, but investigators were still listening. Wiretaps captured Donna discussing plans to either flee or to end her life. Forced to act immediately, law enforcement expedited their timeline. They stopped her directly on the jet bridge, just steps away from boarding the plane.
Have something at H? You have your ID?
No, I don't want to give it to you. Why do I have to? Because my attorney said why do I have to give it to you? My husband's almost 80 years old. He can't come with me?
Please, can I go? No, you can't do it. I'll come to this, please.
Please.
Oh,
Someone's got to help him get home. It's terrible.
Do you have anything of value in you?
No, I
And the earrings, the rings. Oh, sit, please. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Bonjour. Welcome to Felony First Appearance Hearings. I am Judge Wendi Adelson. I will be presiding today the video for first appearance hearings. Ma'am, you were arrested on a warrant from Leon County, Florida. The charges are public order crimes. It says attempted solicitation, conspiracy to commit a capital felony, attempted solicitation or conspiracy to commit homicide.
By late August 2025, the now 75-year-old Donna faced a Leon County jury. Her defense attorneys reused Charlie's failed strategy. They argued Donna was merely an overbearing mother, claiming she was the victim of a Latin king's extortion ring. To destroy this defense, prosecutors forced a direct confrontation. To prevent Wendi from pleading the Fifth Amendment, the state granted her limited immunity. This stripped away her right to remain silent, legally compelling her to take the witness stand against her own mother. Prosecutors handed Wendi her own hostile text messages and made her read them aloud to the courtroom. This public admission shattered the illusion of a peaceful family.
Did you refer to him as an STD?
I don't remember saying that.
Danny is an STD. One wrong mistake marrying him, and this will never go away. Is that what you said?
I did.
And did you share that kind of sentiment with your mother?
I don't remember ever saying that, so I don't think it's something I said very often.
And this was said in an email on February 26th of 2013, correct?
It was.
Approximately 17 months before the murder?
Yes, I don't think it was an email, though. It looks like it was sort of an iMessage.
Did you ever say that you hated Dan Markel?
I don't remember saying it, but I certainly could have.
Tab 31, please, to refresh your memory.
I said that I hate him in this moment.
Okay, and did you say in that email, that same email, quote, I hate my children's dad?
I did.
And do you agree that email was sent approximately 15 months before Mr. Markel was murdered?
It was in April of 2013.
Did you ever refer to your ex-husband, Dan Markel, as an emotional terrorist?
I very well could have. I don't remember saying that, but
That one's on tab 34.
I said it in December of 2013.
Approximately 7 months before his murder?
Yes, approximately 7 months.
In June of 2014, did you say of your ex-husband, I hate him so?
I don't see it. I did write that.
And that was approximately 3 weeks before Mr. Markel was murdered, correct?
Yes.
Did your mom ever call Dan Markel any disparaging names around this time frame?
She did.
Okay, including piece of shit,
Yes. Yes.
a narcissist,
Yes.
a bully,
Yes.
a bastard.
Yes.
Following Wendi's damaging testimony, the defense altered their strategy. Donna engaged in a public standoff with Judge Stephen Everett over her right to testify. After the judge was forced to halt the proceedings twice, she abruptly abandoned her plan to take the stand. This forced the defense to rest their case without exposing Donna to cross-examination. The jury required just over 180 minutes of deliberation to reach a decision.
Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1 of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Count 3. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 3 of the indictment. Solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. And it is signed and dated by the foreperson.
I'm Danny's father. Judge Everett, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the impact of Donna Adelson's actions on my families and the families of so many others. The pain that they have caused my family is obvious and permanent. Donna's selfishness, cruelty, and complete disrespect for human life, along with that of her co-conspirators, have left families forever broken. For anyone to commit such a cold-blooded, unprovoked act of murder is horrific. She has harmed forever the people she claims to have loved. In the Jewish custom, we have an expression to always wish others to live to 120 years of age. For Donna, I wish her to live to 120, alone in her jail cell. I wish that every day of her remaining days, she thinks about the harm she has caused to so many, especially those two boys she claims to have loved so much. For these reasons, Your Honor, I ask the court sentence Donna Adelson to the maximum possible sentence. And my only short question to Donna, was it worth it? Respectfully, thank you.
At her October sentencing hearing, Donna was given one final chance to speak. Rather than showing any remorse, she used her time at the microphone to try and re-argue the entire trial.
It is interesting how the state can't make up its mind about who is what they call the, quote, mastermind behind this murder. They claimed that I, this grandma, was the mastermind behind the murder. I had no idea that other people planned to cut Danny's life short. If I had become aware of this plan before Danny was murdered, I would have stopped it.
You certainly can continue. However, the court can take into consideration the utter lack of remorse that you are displaying.
The state's theory that my husband and I dropped off money to my son was blown out of the water by their own witness. I sat through 3 days of jury selection. 180 potential jurors were asked if they had developed an opinion in my case. Those that answered yes also added, I believe she is guilty. Not one said, I think she may be innocent.
Is there anyone that is going to be attending on behalf of the state as well?
Yes, Your Honor, the Markel family will be appearing by Zoom, but they're relying on their statements previously made.
As to the sentence in this matter, Ms. Adelson, please rise. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count one of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release. On count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count one.
Following the murder, Wendi relocated her preschool-age sons to South Florida. Dan's family faced severe legal hurdles just to maintain contact with the boys. Their fight ultimately drove the passage of the Markel Act in Florida. This landmark legislation allows grandparents to petition courts for visitation when a surviving parent is suspected in the other parent's death. State lawmakers credited the relentless advocacy of Dan's mother, Ruth Markel, tailoring the law to ensure children are never isolated by relatives implicated in a murder. While that secured her legal legacy, her personal pursuit of justice concluded at the end of the trial. Following the guilty verdict, Ruth stepped to the microphone to deliver her victim impact statement, summarizing the ultimate loss of her son.
My name is Ruth Markel. I am the mother of the late Dan Markel. I stand before you today to express the profound sadness and grief that Dan's family and I have endured since his tragic murder. We have lost a treasure. My son Dan's life was cut tragically short at 41 years old. For 11 years, we have been forced to a life filled with unimaginable pain and heartbreak. Dan's life was marked by his devotion to family, education, and community. He was a loving, caring, and inspiring person. Dan was the boys' hero, and they have been forced to grow up without a father. Dan's murder has shattered our family and caused deep, permanent pain. This was a particularly senseless crime. It is a murder of grief, a murder of selfishly prioritizing one's own desires over what is just or right. And at its core, this was a murder of convenience. So that one grandmother could live closer to her grandchildren, she killed their father and ripped the children from the other grandparents' lives. Our lives will never return to normal. For those who loved Danny and for those who Danny loved, there is no escape from the wicked effects of what Donna Adelson set in motion, carried out, and paid for, and for many years enjoyed the aftermath of. Donna Adelson has caused immense devastation and an untimely, undeserved murder through her actions. While no trial or verdict can ever heal the profound wounds, justice must be served. I respectfully ask the court to impose the maximum sentence on Donna Adelson.
The Adelson family treated a father's murder as a practical solution to secure sole custody of two young boys. Dan Markel fought for his children using standard family court motions, never realizing he stood in the path of co-conspirators willing to finance a hit to make his objections disappear. But the state of Florida rewrote its family code in response. Today, the Markel Act ensures that the legal system he spent his career teaching now actively prevents anyone from using a murder to isolate children from their surviving family. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to FactFaction for more relentless deep dives into the cases that shape the justice system. No rumors, just the facts.